Some gardens look harmless on the surface, but a few specific plants can quietly turn them into the perfect environment for snakes. Not because the plants are dangerous, but because they create the exact conditions snakes look for: cool shelter, steady moisture, thick ground cover, and places where they can move unseen. Most people plant them without knowing they're basically building the kind of hiding spots snakes use in the wild. Welcome, gardeners. Today we're taking a closer look at how ordinary plants can accidentally attract snakes and why understanding this can completely change how you design your yard. This isn't about fear, it's about being aware of how your garden works, how each plant affects its surroundings, and how simple choices can make your outdoor space safer, cleaner, and more comfortable. In this video, we're going to break down the plants you need to be careful with and explain what makes them so appealing to snakes, from the structure of their leaves to the moisture they trap at the base. You're going to learn things most gardeners never notice until it's too late, and by the end, you'll be able to look at your yard with a completely different level of confidence. Plant 1. Lantana. Lantana looks bright and cheerful, but don't let that fool you. Its thick, bushy growth makes the perfect little hideout for snakes. Have you ever peeked under a shrub and thought, that's a little too dark down there? That's exactly what snakes are looking for. Can you imagine a tiny snake curling up under that dense shade? The base of Lantana collects a lot of leaves, almost like a natural blanket. Snakes love this because it keeps them warm and hidden. Do you have a plant like that in your garden right now? Have you ever thought about what might be hiding under your favorite flowers? The branches arch out and touch the ground, forming tiny tunnels snakes can slip through. Isn't it wild how something so pretty can also act like a secret snake highway? If you had to guess, do you think snakes could sneak through your shrubs without you noticing? Even when the top of the plant looks dry, the base stays cool and damp. That moisture is irresistible to snakes. Have you ever felt how the soil under a lantana stays different from the rest of your garden? Could that be why snakes might visit your yard without you seeing them? And it's not just about hiding. The bright flowers attract insects, which attract frogs, and frogs attract snakes. Did you realize your colorful lantana could be running a little snake buffet? How many bugs or frogs have you spotted near your plants lately? If you let it grow unchecked, lantana becomes even denser, layering more shade and creating more perfect snake spots. Do you usually trim your shrubs, or do you let them grow wild? Could a little pruning make a big difference? You don't necessarily have to remove lantana, but pruning, clearing the leaf litter, and keeping it away from walkways can help keep snakes at bay. Would you try checking under your lantana tonight just to see what's hiding? Or maybe snap a photo before you prune. Plant 2. Elephant ear. Elephant ear is a tropical favorite with those huge, dramatic leaves, but its size and shape make it a snake magnet. Those massive leaves create deep, shady spots underneath where snakes can hide and stay cool. Have you ever crouched under a big leaf and felt how dark it gets? Can you imagine a snake doing the same thing? The stems grow close together and form natural tunnels. Snakes love these because they can slither through without ever being seen. Do you think your elephant ear plants could be acting like secret pathways in your garden right now? Another thing is the moisture. Elephant ear loves damp soil and often keeps the base wet for days. Snakes are drawn to consistent moisture. It helps them regulate body temperature. Have you noticed certain spots around your plants that feel cooler or damper than the rest of the yard? These plants also attract frogs and insects, which are basically dinner bells for snakes. Isn't it crazy how a beautiful plant can end up hosting a tiny ecosystem? How many frogs or bugs have you spotted near your elephant ears lately? If left unpruned, elephant ear leaves touch the ground and overlap, creating a hidden jungle floor. Snakes love this layering because it gives them shelter and easy movement. Do your plants grow thick like that, or do you usually trim them back? Even the edges of the leaves provide hiding spots. Snakes can slip in under curling leaves or crumpled edges and stay completely hidden. Have you ever looked at the edges of your leaves and thought, a snake could fit here? You don't have to remove elephant ear from your garden, but clearing the soil underneath, keeping leaves from piling up, and spacing the plants out can reduce snake-friendly spots. Bonus tip, try planting small, low-maintenance herbs like rosemary or lavender around the base. Not only do they smell amazing, but snakes tend to avoid strong scents like these. Would you try adding a few of these herbs after watching this? Plant 3, snake plant. Ironically, the plant called snake plant can actually invite real snakes if placed in the wrong spot. Its tall, thick leaves create tight, vertical spaces where snakes can hide during the heat of the day. Have you ever felt the soil around your snake plant? Could it be cozy enough for a tiny visitor? The dense clusters of leaves form natural barriers that make it easy for snakes to move unseen. Snakes like places where they can slip in and out without being exposed. Do your snake plants grow in tight groups, or are they spaced out enough to discourage hiding spots? Snake plants also retain some moisture at the base, especially if you water regularly. That damp, cool area is exactly what snakes look for to regulate body temperature. Have you noticed any spots under your plants that stay cooler than the surrounding soil?
Because snake plants are popular in shady corners, they often sit near walls or under other shrubs. This combination of shade, structure, and cover makes it a mini snake highway. Have you ever seen any signs of movement around your shaded indoor or outdoor corners? Even the leaf tips provide cover. Snakes can curl or slide between the leaves, staying hidden while they observe their surroundings. Have you checked between your tall leaves lately? You might be surprised what's hiding there. If left unattended, fallen leaves or debris at the base can create even more shelter for snakes. Clearing the debris regularly is key. Do you usually clean up under your plants or let nature take its course? You don't have to remove snake plants, but spacing them out, trimming old leaves, and keeping the base free of debris can make them less snake-friendly. Bonus tip: plant small aromatic herbs like mint or thyme nearby. Snakes dislike strong scents and will often avoid the area. Could you see yourself adding some of these herbs around your snake plants? Plant 4, bamboo. Bamboo looks sleek and elegant, but those dense clusters can quickly turn into a snake's dream hideout. The tall, tightly packed stalks create dark corridors at the base where snakes can move freely without being seen. Have you ever walked past a bamboo grove and wondered what might be hiding in there? The thick undergrowth of fallen leaves and shoots keeps the soil cool and damp, which snakes absolutely love. Can you imagine a snake curling up in that little shaded space? How would you feel if you found one while trimming? Bamboo spreads fast, and as it grows, it forms a mini maze of stalks. Snakes enjoy these mazes because they offer both shelter and escape routes. Do your bamboo plants grow close together, or do you give them room to breathe? Another thing is the natural humidity trapped between the stalks. Even on hot days, the base of bamboo can stay moist and shaded, perfect for snakes to regulate their body temperature. Have you noticed how cool it can feel under a dense bamboo patch? Bamboo also attracts small animals like frogs, lizards, and insects. And where there's food, snakes often follow. Have you ever spotted little critters moving around your bamboo? Could that be inviting snakes too? If you don't trim and manage bamboo regularly, the leaf litter and tight stalks create a permanent hiding place. Do you usually prune your bamboo or let it grow wild and free? You don't need to get rid of bamboo entirely, but pruning the base, thinning the stalks, and removing fallen leaves can reduce snake-friendly areas. Bonus tip: plant strong-smelling flowers like marigolds or garlic near the base. The scent can help keep snakes away naturally. Would you consider adding some of these herbs around your bamboo to make it safer? Plant 5, juniper. Juniper shrubs are popular for their fragrance and low maintenance, but their dense, spiky foliage makes the perfect hiding spot for snakes. The tight branches create dark, layered areas where snakes can rest safely. Have you ever crouched down and peeked inside your juniper? What do you think you might find hiding there? The lower branches often touch the ground, creating natural tunnels. Snakes love being able to move undetected from one area to another. Do your junipers grow thick and bushy, or do you trim them regularly to avoid dense cover? Juniper also holds moisture near its base longer than many other shrubs. That damp environment is very attractive to snakes looking to regulate their temperature. Have you ever felt the soil under your juniper? Could it be a little too inviting for wildlife? These shrubs also attract small critters like birds, frogs, and insects. And wherever there's a food source, snakes are likely to follow. How often do you see little animals living around your juniper? Could that be a magnet for snakes too? If left untrimmed, juniper can grow thick enough to form a mini fortress at the base. Snakes love these layered hiding spots because they feel secure.
Do you let your junipers grow naturally, or do you maintain them carefully? Even the low-hanging branches create shadowed corners that snakes can slip under. Have you ever noticed how dark it gets under a fully grown juniper? Would you be surprised to find a snake hiding there? You don't need to remove juniper from your yard entirely, but keeping it pruned, clearing fallen debris, and planting snake-repelling herbs around the base can help. Bonus tip: try adding rosemary or lavender nearby. The strong scent is known to deter snakes naturally. Would you plant some of these around your juniper to make it safer? Before we move on to the next plants, if you're finding this video useful and want to keep your garden safe while still looking beautiful, make sure to hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications. That way, you'll never miss more tips on keeping snakes away and creating a backyard you can actually enjoy. Quick question for you. Which of these plants do you already have in your yard? Drop your answer in the comments. I'd love to see how many of you might be unknowingly inviting snakes in. Plant 6. Castor bean plant. Castor bean is often grown for its striking leaves and tall stature, but it's a favorite hiding spot for snakes. Its thick foliage creates deep shaded areas at the base where snakes can rest without being seen. Have you ever looked under one and thought, wow, that's a lot of shade? Could a snake be enjoying it too? The plant drops a lot of leaves, and those fallen leaves act like natural bedding for snakes. Even small snakes can curl up and feel completely hidden. Do you have plants that shed this much in your yard? Can you imagine what might be hiding under them? The stalks grow thick and upright, forming tunnels snakes can move through easily. Snakes love areas where they can slither without exposure. Are your plants growing close together like this, or are they spaced out? Castor bean also keeps the soil at the base damp for longer periods. That moisture is perfect for snakes to regulate their body temperature. Have you noticed certain spots around your garden that stay cooler or damper than others? Could snakes be visiting these areas? These plants attract insects, which in turn attract frogs, and frogs attract snakes. Isn't it fascinating how a single plant can create its own mini food chain? How many insects or frogs have you spotted near your garden lately? If you don't prune or clear fallen leaves, castor bean becomes even more inviting for snakes. Do you usually maintain your tall plants regularly, or do you let them grow wild? How much easier do you think it would be for snakes if you leave them alone? You don't need to remove castor bean entirely, but trimming the base, removing debris, and planting snake-repelling herbs nearby can help. Bonus tip: try adding rosemary or lavender nearby. The strong scent is known to deter snakes naturally. Would you plant some of these around your castor beans to make them safer? Plant 7. Pachysandra. Pachysandra looks like a harmless ground cover, but its low, dense growth makes it perfect for snakes to hide. The thick mat of leaves keeps the soil shaded and cool, giving snakes a safe resting spot. Have you ever crouched down and peeked under your Pachysandra? Could a snake be curled up there without you noticing? The leaves form a tight carpet that traps moisture and creates a humid microclimate. Snakes love this because it helps them stay comfortable even in hot weather. Do you have spots in your yard that feel cooler or damper than others? Could snakes be enjoying them too? Pachysandra spreads fast, and as it grows, it forms tunnels and pathways snakes can slip through without being seen. Isn't it crazy how a small plant can turn into a tiny snake highway? How dense is your ground cover right now? It also attracts small insects and occasionally frogs, which are snacks for snakes. One tiny plant can support a whole little ecosystem. Have you noticed any bugs or frogs near your Pachysandra recently? Could that be why snakes might be hanging around? If you let it grow unchecked, the layering of leaves and stems forms multiple hiding spots at different levels. Snakes love being able to move undercover in several directions. Do you usually trim or thin your ground cover, or let it grow freely? Even the edges of the plant offer perfect cover. Snakes can slip under and stay hidden while observing their surroundings. Have you ever looked at the edges closely and thought, a snake could fit here? You don't have to remove Pachysandra, but keeping it trimmed, clearing debris, and planting strong-smelling herbs nearby can help reduce snake-friendly areas. Bonus tip: consider planting mint or rosemary around the perimeter. The scent naturally discourages snakes. Would you try adding some of these herbs around your ground cover?
Plant 8. Hibiscus. Hibiscus is loved for its bright, tropical flowers, but the thick foliage and dense stems can hide snakes perfectly. The shaded areas at the base offer a cool, safe spot for snakes to rest. Have you ever crouched down near your hibiscus and noticed how much shade it creates? Could a snake be enjoying it too? The broad leaves trap moisture at the bottom, keeping the soil damp for longer periods. Snakes are drawn to this steady moisture because it helps them regulate their body temperature. Do you have areas around your plants that feel cooler or damper than the rest of the garden? Hibiscus grows upright and spreads out, forming little tunnels between the stems. Snakes can use these tunnels to move without being seen. Isn't it wild how a beautiful flowering plant can also act as a secret passageway? Do your hibiscus plants grow dense like this, or are they spaced out?
The flowers attract insects, which attract frogs, a perfect little buffet for snakes. Have you noticed any frogs or lots of bugs around your hibiscus? Could that be drawing snakes closer than you realize? If left unpruned, fallen flowers and leaves create even more hiding spots at the base. Snakes love areas where they can curl up in the debris and stay unnoticed. Do you usually clean fallen flowers or let nature take its course? Even the low-lying branches and leaves form shadowed corners. Snakes can hide easily under them, waiting for prey or shelter. Have you ever checked under the thickest part of your hibiscus? Could something be hiding there right now? You don't need to remove hibiscus, but pruning, clearing debris, and planting snake-repelling herbs nearby can reduce risks. Bonus tip: plant marigolds or garlic around the base. Snakes dislike strong scents. Would you add these around your hibiscus to make it less inviting for snakes? Plant 9. Oleander. Oleander is a popular ornamental shrub with beautiful flowers, but its thick, bushy growth creates perfect hiding spots for snakes. The shade under the dense branches stays cool and undisturbed, exactly what snakes love. Have you ever looked beneath your oleander? Could a snake be resting there without you noticing? The plant drops leaves and small debris that pile up at the base. Snakes use this as natural bedding to stay comfortable and hidden. Do you have a shrub in your yard that collects leaves like this? How inviting could that be for a snake? Oleander stems grow close together, forming little corridors snakes can slither through safely. Isn't it crazy how a plant that looks so elegant can also provide secret snake highways? How dense are your oleander bushes right now? The plant attracts insects and sometimes small frogs, which snakes find irresistible. Have you spotted bugs or tiny animals around your oleander recently? Could that be drawing snakes to your yard? If left untrimmed, oleander's layered foliage and low-hanging branches create multiple hidden corners. Snakes love places where they can move unseen from one spot to another. Do you usually prune your bushes or let them grow wild? Even the outer branches create shade at ground level, giving snakes cover while they explore or rest. Have you checked the outer edges of your shrubs? Could something be hiding in those shadows? You don't need to remove oleander entirely, but keeping it trimmed, clearing leaf litter, and planting snake-repelling herbs nearby can help. Bonus tip: plant lavender or rosemary around the base. Snakes tend to avoid strong scents. Would you try adding some of these herbs to make your oleander safer?
Plant 10. Ferns. Ferns are loved for their delicate, feathery leaves and lush green look, but those same leaves create thick, shady areas at the base that snakes love. The ground under a large fern stays cool and hidden. Have you ever looked under your ferns? Could a snake be curling up there right now? The dense leaf mats trap moisture and keep the soil damp for days, even when the sun is out. Snakes are drawn to this steady humidity because it helps them regulate body temperature. Do you have damp, shaded spots in your garden like this? How tempting do you think that is for snakes? Ferns grow in clusters that form tiny tunnels between the leaves. Snakes use these tunnels to move around safely and stay unseen. Isn't it amazing how a small, pretty plant can double as a secret snake path? Could snakes be using yours this way? These plants also attract insects, frogs, and small critters. Snakes follow their food sources, so a single fern can become part of a mini ecosystem. Have you spotted any small animals near your ferns? Could that be attracting snakes without you realizing it? If left untrimmed, falling leaves and old fronds pile up, creating even more perfect hiding spots. Snakes love layered debris that offers safety and camouflage. Do you usually clean out your ferns or let the leaves accumulate naturally? Even the edges of the fern fronds provide shelter at ground level. Snakes can slip under and stay hidden while they watch for prey. Have you ever inspected the edges of your ferns? Could something be sneaking around there? You don't need to remove ferns entirely, but trimming dead fronds, clearing debris, and planting snake-repelling herbs nearby can reduce risks. Bonus tip, plant strong scented herbs like thyme or sage around your ferns. Snakes usually avoid areas with strong smells. Would you consider adding these herbs to keep your ferns safer? And there you have it, the 10 plants that can unknowingly invite snakes into your yard. From lantana to ferns, each one has its own ways of creating shade, moisture, and hiding spots that snakes absolutely love. Did any of these plants surprise you? Which one do you already have in your garden? Drop your answer in the comments. I'd love to see how many of you might be sharing your yard with some uninvited visitors. Remember, you don't need to remove all of these plants. The key is awareness. Pruning, clearing debris, spacing them out, and adding snake-repelling herbs like rosemary, lavender, or mint around them can make a huge difference. Which tip are you going to try first? Gardening is all about creating a space that's beautiful, functional, and safe. Now that you know the hidden ways some plants attract snakes, you can start redesigning your yard to keep unwanted visitors away while still enjoying your favorite greenery. Do you feel more confident about checking your plants after watching this video? If you found this video helpful and you want more expert tips for creating a snake-free, thriving garden, make sure to subscribe to the channel and hit that notification bell. That way, you'll always be the first to know about new tips, tricks, and hacks for keeping your outdoor space safe and stunning. And don't forget, your garden is a living ecosystem. Small changes make a big difference. Take a look around tonight. Which plants need pruning, clearing, or adding snake-repelling herbs? Which one will you start with? If you enjoyed this video, give it a like, share it with friends who love gardening, and comment below with your biggest takeaway. I read every comment, and I love seeing your gardens and how you put these tips into practice. Thanks for watching, and remember, a beautiful garden doesn't have to be a risky garden. Keep it safe, keep it thriving, and keep enjoying every moment outdoors.